My beloved child, pause here for a moment, because what you are about to hear was not placed before you by accident. There is a reason your eyes found these words now, at this exact hour, while something unseen is already moving closer to you. Do not rush past this. Do not let the noise around you steal your attention. A journey has begun in secret, and the person connected to your heart is carrying a decision they have not shared with anyone. Your soulmate is coming to see you, but for reasons you do not yet understand, their arrival must remain hidden. You may feel a strange movement in your spirit as you hear this. Perhaps your heart has been unusually restless. Perhaps you have looked toward a doorway without knowing why, checked your phone when no message had arrived, or suddenly remembered them in the middle of an ordinary moment. Those sensations were not meaningless. Something has shifted between you. A distance that once seemed fixed has begun to break apart, and the silence that surrounded this connection is no longer as empty as it appears. There are moments when heaven works loudly, through doors opening where everyone can see. But there are also moments when the most important movements happen quietly, protected from curious eyes, unnecessary opinions, and people who would interfere before something sacred has had time to become strong. This is one of those moments. Your soulmate has been wrestling with an urge they can no longer ignore. They have tried to reason with it. They have tried to delay it. They have told themselves that waiting would be safer. Yet every time they attempted to push the feeling away, it returned with greater force. They are not coming because someone convinced them. They are not coming because loneliness suddenly became unbearable. They are coming because something inside them has reached a point of truth. A truth they can no longer hide from themselves. For a long time, they believed they could continue living as though your connection had not changed them. They filled their days with distractions, conversations, responsibilities, and routines. From the outside, they may have appeared calm. But deep within them, your memory continued to speak. Your name returned in unexpected places. A song carried the emotion they tried to bury. A familiar street reminded them of something they once imagined sharing with you. A quiet night forced them to confront questions they avoided during the day. And recently, something happened that made avoidance impossible. It was not a dramatic scene witnessed by many. It was a private moment, but it shook them deeply. In that moment, they understood that if they continued to remain silent, they might lose the opportunity to say what their soul had been trying to say for far too long. This is why secrecy surrounds their movement. Not because their intentions are dishonest. Not because they are ashamed of you. Not because they plan to enter your life and disappear again. The secrecy exists because there are forces around this situation that do not yet need access to it. There are people who would ask too many questions. People who might place fear into your soulmate's mind before they reach you. People who would judge a decision they do not understand. Your soulmate knows this, even if they cannot fully explain how they know. They have already imagined the conversation that could happen if others discovered their plan. They know someone might try to stop them. Someone might remind them of old pain, old misunderstandings, or reasons to remain guarded. Someone might say, "Why now?" Another might say, "Do not reopen that door." And although your soulmate has listened to outside voices before, this time something within them is stronger than all of those warnings. They are not telling everyone where they are going. They may offer a simple explanation, something ordinary enough to avoid suspicion. They may leave without announcing the true purpose of their journey. They may choose an unusual time, change a routine, or create distance between their plans and the people most likely to question them. Every detail is being handled carefully because they do not want this meeting to become a public discussion before it becomes a private reality. But there is something even deeper you must understand. They are not only protecting the meeting from others. They are protecting themselves from the possibility that fear could overtake them before they reach you. They know that speaking too soon would invite opinions, and opinions could awaken the doubts they have spent so long trying to silence. This journey requires courage they have not always possessed. By keeping it secret, they are giving their heart a chance to move before their mind creates another reason to turn back. You may wonder whether they are certain. The truth is, they are feeling many things at once. Hope is pulling them forward. Fear is asking them to slow down. Love is reminding them of what remains unfinished. Pride is whispering that they should not be the one to take the first step. Yet beneath all of these emotions is a quiet certainty they cannot deny. They need to see you. Not merely to look at you from a distance. Not merely to satisfy curiosity. They need to stand in your presence and discover whether the connection they feel in silence is still alive when you are near. They need to hear your voice without a screen between you. They need to look into your eyes and know whether the story they have carried inside themselves still has a future. They have rehearsed what they might say, but every version feels incomplete. Some nights they imagine beginning with an apology. Other times they think they should speak honestly and say, "I could not stay away anymore." There are moments when they plan to act calm, as though the meeting is simple and casual. But their heart knows there is nothing casual about what is happening. The truth may be visible before they speak a single word. Their eyes may reveal the nights they thought about you. Their silence may expose how deeply this connection has affected them. Their nervousness may tell you what pride has prevented them from saying. You may notice that they hold your gaze longer than expected, then look away as though the emotion is too intense. You may hear a tremble beneath their words. You may sense that they arrived carrying far more than a simple explanation. Do not mistake their uncertainty for a lack of feeling. Sometimes the heart becomes most unsteady when it is closest to what it truly desires. Your soulmate has imagined this meeting many times, but imagination is safer than reality. In imagination, they can control your response. They can choose the perfect words. They can pause the moment before it becomes overwhelming. But when they finally stand before you, everything they have hidden may rise at once. This is where your strength will be needed. Not the strength of pretending you do not care. Not the strength of punishing them for every delay. The strength I speak of is the calm strength of someone who knows their worth and does not need to chase, beg, or force an outcome. You are being prepared to meet this moment with clarity. You do not need to abandon your boundaries to receive the truth. You do not need to forget what you have learned. You only need to remain present enough to recognize what is real. There is a reason this meeting did not happen earlier. Had they come before now, they might have arrived with the same confusion that created distance in the first place. They might have spoken from fear instead of honesty. They might have expected you to carry the emotional weight they were unwilling to face. But something has changed. The time apart has revealed parts of themselves they could no longer avoid. They have begun to understand what your absence feels like when it is no longer temporary. They have seen that certain connections cannot be replaced simply because replacement appears easier. They may have met other people, spoken to others, or tried to convince themselves that moving forward meant forgetting what existed between you. Yet comparison became its own kind of revelation. Every surface-level interaction showed them the depth they had with you. Every conversation that lacked understanding reminded them of how deeply you once saw them. This does not mean they have become perfect. It does not mean every wound is healed or every difficulty has disappeared. But it does mean they are approaching a threshold. They are beginning to accept that love requires more than feeling. It requires courage, honesty, responsibility, and action. Their decision to come is the first visible action born from an invisible awakening. There is also a message they are carrying, though they have not decided exactly how to deliver it. It may begin as an explanation of what happened during the time apart. They may tell you about a conversation that changed their thinking. They may reveal that someone close to them mentioned your name unexpectedly. They may confess that they defended you when others misunderstood you. Or they may admit that they have been asking about you quietly, trying to learn whether you have moved on. But that is only the surface of what they want to say. The deeper truth is more vulnerable. They are afraid that you no longer feel what you once felt. They are afraid that while they were learning their lesson, you were learning how to live without them. They are afraid that the door they assumed would remain open may now be guarded by the self-respect you built during their absence. This fear has delayed them, but it has also made the journey urgent. Recently, they saw or heard something that intensified this fear. It may have been a photograph, a comment, a change in your energy, or news that suggested your life is moving forward. Whatever it was, it awakened a realization: they may not have unlimited time. The connection they took for granted is not frozen in place. You are changing. You are healing. You are becoming less willing to accept uncertainty. And they can feel that shift, even from a distance. That is why the journey is no longer just an idea. They have begun considering practical details. The route. The time. The reason they will give if questioned. The place where they might see you. They have imagined whether you will be alone, whether you will be surprised, whether you will welcome them or remain guarded. Each possibility creates a different emotion, yet none has been strong enough to make them abandon the plan. There may be a delay that tests their courage. A change of schedule. An unexpected responsibility. A person who becomes suspicious. A message that almost makes them reconsider. But do not assume a delay means the journey has ended. Some movements require adjustment before they reach their destination. Your soulmate may need to overcome one final obstacle, and that obstacle is connected to the very reason secrecy is necessary. Someone around them senses that something is changing. This person may not know the full truth, but they have noticed the distraction in your soulmate's eyes. They have noticed the sudden need for privacy. They have asked questions that seemed casual but carried deeper curiosity. Your soulmate responded carefully, yet the questions have not stopped. This is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to show you why the situation is unfolding with such caution. Not every person who asks questions has bad intentions. Some may believe they are protecting your soulmate. Some may fear that reopening this connection will lead to pain. Others may simply want control over a decision that does not belong to them. But whatever their motive, your soulmate understands that too much discussion could destroy the courage they have finally gathered. So they are choosing silence. And in that silence, they are making a promise to themselves. They will not allow another person to decide what their heart must do. They will not let embarrassment keep them trapped. They will not continue pretending that the unfinished truth between you can disappear on its own. This promise is new. It was born after a moment of deep emotional honesty, when they finally admitted something they had denied. They miss you. Not merely the attention you gave. Not merely the comfort. They miss the way your presence affected their inner world. They miss being known without having to explain every hidden part of themselves. They miss the strange peace that existed even when neither of you was speaking. They miss the version of themselves that appeared when they felt safe enough to be real with you. They also miss things they once overlooked. The way you remembered small details. The way you noticed changes in their mood. The way you gave meaning to moments they considered ordinary. Distance has turned those details into evidence. Evidence that what existed between you was not as replaceable as they once believed. But there is another reason they are coming, and this reason is more serious than longing. They need to correct something. A misunderstanding has been allowed to remain between you. Perhaps they know you were given an incomplete story. Perhaps someone spoke on their behalf without permission. Perhaps their silence made you believe they did not care. Whatever happened, they now understand that silence became a message, even though it was not the message they intended to send. They have been carrying regret about this. They know that by not speaking, they allowed you to create answers from the absence. You may have concluded that you were forgotten, rejected, or not valued. They may not realize every thought you endured, but they know enough to understand that their inaction caused pain. The secret meeting is connected to their desire to correct this before it becomes permanent. They do not want to send a long message that can be misunderstood. They do not want to depend on words typed and deleted, read without tone, or answered after fear has time to interfere. They want to speak face to face because what they need to tell you carries emotion that cannot survive distance. There is something they have never fully explained. It concerns the moment they pulled away. You may have believed the distance happened because their feelings disappeared. But that is not the whole truth. Their feelings became intense, and intensity awakened fears they had never learned to manage. The closer the connection came to becoming real, the more vulnerable they felt. Instead of admitting that vulnerability, they created space. Instead of saying, "I am afraid because this matters," they behaved as though it did not matter at all. This contradiction wounded both of you. They have spent a long time defending their decision, even to themselves. But recently, that defense collapsed. They saw the difference between protecting themselves and abandoning something meaningful. They realized that fear did not save them. It only exchanged one type of pain for another. Now they are coming to tell you what fear made them hide. Yet you must not rush ahead in your mind and create the entire ending. The meeting is important, but it is not a command for you to surrender your discernment. Love can return, but trust must be rebuilt through truth and consistency. A powerful moment can open a door, but what happens afterward determines whether the connection can truly grow. Your soulmate knows this more than you think. That is why they are nervous. They understand that seeing you is only the beginning. They cannot expect one conversation to erase everything. They cannot arrive with emotion and leave responsibility behind. Somewhere inside, they know you will need more than promises. You will need evidence of change. And they are bringing something that may become the first piece of that evidence. It may not be a physical gift, though they have considered bringing one. It is something more personal. Something connected to a memory between you. Something they kept even when they tried to move on. They have looked at it during moments when they almost contacted you. They have hidden it from others because explaining its meaning would reveal too much. This object, message, or memory carries the truth of what they never let go. They may place it in your hands. They may show it only after the conversation reaches a certain point. They may hesitate, wondering whether revealing it will make them appear too vulnerable. But if they share it, you will understand that their feelings did not vanish during the silence. Still, even this is not the greatest revelation. There is a decision they have made about the future, and they have not told anyone. This decision is the real reason the meeting cannot be casual. They are not traveling only to say they miss you. They are coming because they want to ask whether there is still a path forward. They do not yet know what form that path will take. They may speak carefully at first, testing whether your heart is open. They may ask questions instead of making declarations. They may want to know how you have been, what changed in you, and whether you ever thought of them. But beneath every question will be one unspoken plea: is it too late for us? You will feel this before they say it. The atmosphere may become unusually still. Their voice may soften. The distance between the words may carry more meaning than the words themselves. There may be a moment when neither of you knows what to say because both of you can feel the weight of everything that was left unfinished. Do not fear that silence. Some truths arrive before language catches up. Your heart may respond in ways that surprise you. You may feel tenderness and caution at the same time. You may want to move closer while another part of you remembers the pain of waiting. Both reactions are valid. You do not need to choose instantly. You are allowed to receive the truth without making an immediate promise. This meeting is not designed to trap you. It is designed to reveal what has been hidden. And the secrecy surrounding it will not last forever. There is a point after which the truth must come into the light. Your soulmate knows that if you both decide to continue, the connection cannot remain hidden indefinitely. But first, It needs a protected space where honesty can exist without an audience. A place where neither of you is performing for family, friends, expectations, or fear. That space is what they are trying to create. Yet there is one detail they have not planned for. Something may happen shortly before they reach you. A message may arrive. A person may appear. A truth may be revealed that changes the emotional weight of the meeting. Your soulmate believes they are coming to tell you one secret, but they may discover that another secret has been waiting for them. This hidden truth is connected to someone who knows more about your connection than either of you realized. Someone has observed the distance, the silence, and the attempts to move on. They have seen your soulmate struggle. They may have even encouraged them to speak to you, but not for the reason your soulmate assumes. There was a conversation about you. Your soulmate has not told you this because they are still processing what was said. During that conversation, something was revealed about your past actions, your loyalty, or the way you protected them without receiving recognition. The revelation